welcome back to Movie Review Mom. And if this is your very first time visiting my YouTube channel, yay, you found me. I'm so glad. I hope you like what you see, and I hope you subscribe and stay and visit often. All right, so today the movie I'm reviewing is called Thunder Force. Now, this movie is currently available on Netflix, and normally I like to give you my movie reviews before they go live because the movie studios send me screeners, which is awesome, but I've been so sick and haven't done any videos for a week. Normally I do them almost every day, so I apologize that this one's a little bit late. So let me give you the scoop. This movie is rated PG-13. It's an hour and 46 minutes. And the movie review mom grade I'm giving it will be shared at the end of the video, just to keep you watching. But let me give you an overview in a nutshell. I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as tips for parents, themes worth talking about, and even some recommendations for other movies that you might also like if you like this one, or maybe movies that you might like better than this one. There's your little clue that this is not a great movie. Wah, wah. All right, first let me give you the scoop in a nutshell. It's been 5 minutes, so that means it's time for another superhero movie. But wait, this one is different. The idea behind this Netflix story is decent enough, but the execution sadly is lacking. Melissa McCarthy is married to writer and director Ben Falcone, who admitted that this was the fastest he had ever written a film, and unfortunately it shows. He exclaimed that he loves comics and superheroes, so it's a shame that he couldn't spend more time creating an actual decent script. You're going to laugh a couple of times during the action comedy, but you're also going to roll your eyes at the many cringe-worthy moments in this disappointing movie. Well, so you can already tell my score is not going to be great for this film, right? Well, let me tell you about some things I liked about the movie first. First of all, Melissa McCarthy is hilarious, and I really do love her. But whenever she stars in movies that her husband writes and directs, the films tend to bomb. In this movie, she shines doing her classic physical humor, but the script is a bit of a mess. Some have speculated also why Academy Award winning Octavia Spencer would actually agree to this role. However, she and Melissa McCarthy have been friends in real life for 20 years. So I love it when celebrities try to support each other in their work projects, so I can't fault her for that. I'm assuming that she just wanted to try something very different and lend her high status name to the production, and it does for sure. She and Melissa McCarthy also both showcased their daughters in the film. Melissa also featured her daughter Vivian Falcone in the movie The Boss, which I actually thought was a cute movie. It had some bad moments, but it also had some good moments. Melissa Leo is also in the movie. She also won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in 2011, but she has a very small role in this film, and you would never know that she was an Academy Award winner based on this performance. Some of the banter in the movie is pretty entertaining, and Jason Bateman is always funny, although this character in this movie is pretty bizarre. I thought that he and Melissa McCarthy were actually pretty magical together in the comedy movie Identity Thief. Their moments together are entertaining, but also kind of odd in this movie. And then I don't think I've ever seen French actress Palm Clementif without her green makeup and antenna as Mantis in the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. I love that franchise, by the way. So anyway, it took me a minute to actually realize that she was the one playing the character named Laser in the movie. Now, there were some things I didn't like about the movie. First of all, I had done a trailer reaction for this film a while ago, and I thought that the trailer looked like it had some really good potential and that it could be funny. Of course, Knowing a little bit about the film's writer and director made me worry just a little bit. So I had my fingers crossed. Unfortunately, my concerns were warranted and justified because the film just completely disappoints on many levels. You don't need x-ray vision to see what's going to happen next in this movie. It's very predictable. The villains and their powers are pretty lame, unfortunately. And a lot of the humor just doesn't land at all for me. And it's just juvenile, I think. A lot of it is also improvisation, which doesn't always work nor entertain, which is disappointing because Melissa McCarthy has a talent with improv and has some good moments with improv. So it was just disappointing. And then the character development in the movie is just not well defined at all. The first half of the movie takes way too long to tell us how Melissa McCarthy's character gets her superpowers, and we wonder if there's going to be anything else to the shtick. She kind of plays the same character really in almost all of her movies. And so the character just kind of felt a little worn out and predictable most of the time. There's also a lot of exposition telling us about things that are currently happening, have happened, or are going to happen in the future. There are also some super gross moments regarding raw chicken in the movie when people eat it. And it's supposed to be funny. It definitely gets a reaction because most people are going to be like, whoa. And that alone might cause them to change the channel. Even worse, though, is that it kind of goes on and on. The good news, though, is that the actors are not eating raw chicken. It looks believable, but it's actually a carefully camouflaged Asian pear that they use. So that's good. Rumor has it, though, even knowing that it was an Asian pear, that the actors still just had a hard time eating it in their scenes and just got grossed out because it really does look like raw chicken. It's disgusting. Now, as much as I love Octavia Spencer, and I do, she kind of seemed like a fish out of water in a lot of the scenes, especially in the comedy aspects at times, and even seemed to be phoning it in. For example, at the very end of the movie, there's this celebration scene where she just kind of stands there, not really knowing what to do, whereas Melissa McCarthy is really hamming it up and having a good time. And I was kind of surprised, but there you have it. The movie actually looks and feels low budget, which is unfortunate as well. The special effects are not very good. And sadly, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of successful merchandising with this movie. Now, let me give you some tips for parents. The movie is rated PG-13, but I still thought that the movie pushed the envelope a little too far when it came to inappropriate sexual innuendos. There are people in perilous situations, of course, superhero movie. Lots of violence, of course, action superhero movie. There are weapons of various kinds, and some parents will just simply find the jokes and the situations and dialogue to be offensive for their kids and even for themselves. So there's the heads up. Now, there were some themes that are worth talking about in the movie. For example, female empowerment. Of course, both of the superheroes are female, as well as one of the villains. Identity is definitely an issue, as these two young girls are kind of outsiders and nerds and trying to find themselves and where they fit in the world and what they have to contribute to the world. Friendship, of course, is illustrated with their relationship, and it's not all up. There are ups and downs with their relationship. Other themes are power, good versus evil, and helping other people. Now, normally when I'm watching movies, I write down all the funny lines or the interesting lines while I'm actually watching the movie, but unfortunately, nothing really stood out in either of those categories. So that's not a good sign. So ultimately, let me give you my movie review mom grade. Because of all of those things, I'm giving it a grade of D for so disappointing. I wanted it to be really good and it just wasn't. Now, before we go, let me give you some recommendations for some other movies that I think you might enjoy, especially if you do enjoy this movie. The first one is one I mentioned already with Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy together, called Identity Thief. I thought it was pretty cute. Another Melissa McCarthy movie that I actually thought was cute was called Life of the Party. She has that similar personality that we've seen before in other movies, like in Identity Thief and Spies. But I don't know, there was something kind of cute about that movie that I actually liked it. All right, that's it for my review today. If you watch this movie, I hope you enjoy it. And by the way, when you get a minute, run over to my Movie Review Mom Facebook group, because I'm always posting contests and fun things that you can take advantage of that I often forget to even mention during my movie reviews. So run over there and check that out. Plus, you'll meet a lot of really nice people. All right. Thank you again for supporting my channel, for supporting me over at Patreon. And a simple way to support me is by just subscribing, liking the video, and commenting down below what you thought about this movie. All right. I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.